It's one of the most neglected pets in the world, sold for a few pounds and shoved into tiny plastic cages no bigger than a shoebox. They're filmed suffering for views and likes, and the worst part is that most people don't even realise that it's abuse. In today's video, we're going to talk about the heartbreaking reality of hamsters, behind how they're treated in pet shops, homes, and on large platforms just like YouTube and TikTok. Just because it looks cute doesn't mean it's okay, and it's about time we stop normalising the abuse of these small animals and start learning how to properly care for them. Though hamsters are very small, they do need a lot of space to run, dig, burrow, and exhibit their natural behaviours. In their wheel and their cage, they can run up to 8 miles every night, sometimes even more. So logically, most people would think, oh, they need a massive cage, and a properly sized wheel, and lots of different cage accessories to accommodate to their needs. But that's usually not the case. Many pet shops across the world sell cages that aren't much bigger than a shoebox. This kind of harmful information not only normalises the neglect of these small animals, but also gives the very wrong idea that hamsters are low-maintenance pets, or just a starter animal. Parents often walk into pet shops saying, "Oh, we're only gonna look around," then come up with a hamster and a tiny plastic prison. I would know, I've been there. Parents aren't purposely trying to be cruel, at least I hope so. They just don't know any better. Many still believe in the outdated care for hamsters, and many small pets for that matter. The outdated idea that hamsters are easy animals to take care of is completely wrong, and the reality is very different. A proper hamster cage should be 100 by 50 by 50 centimeters. It should have at least 6 to 10 inches of bedding for burrowing, a 9 to 10 inch wheel, and lots of hides, sprays, and cage accessories that gives them coverage and makes them feel safe and not exposed. It's not the sort of thing that you could shove into a corner and forget about. It's not the sort of cage that you can hide under your bed or in a corner of your room. It's big and they need a lot. And it's hard not to feel frustrated when you watch a TikTok of an unknowing parent buying a hamster and a tiny overpriced cage. Or even worse, housing 2 hamsters together despite them being strictly solitary animals. And no, just because the pet shop said that your 2 robo-dwarf hamsters can live together does not mean it's true. They do not get lonely. They are meant to live alone. It is simply just a cash grab to sell more hamsters to you. But here's the thing. If we want people to listen, how do we go about it? Well, first of all, don't be aggressive like many people in the TikTok comments or Reddit pages. We have to listen to what these people think. We have to understand why they think this. Being respectful and patient while correcting others is so important. If we want to change the minds of especially older generations, we have to be respectful and calm. We can't make people feel shame. That's how we can start shifting the norm. Rather than coming across as angry or over-aggressive, which can immediately switch someone off, even myself, we have to be understanding of where their ideas come from. The idea that hamsters are good starter pets probably comes from the fact that they're compact and small and easy to take care of and low effort. People think they don't take up much room, and because they're nocturnal, they assume that hamsters will just sleep during the day and completely entertain themselves at night. You wake up, throw some food in there, get on with your day. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Yes, hamsters are small, but they have big needs. Proper hamster care is very expensive and can be time consuming. It's tricky to get right, especially if it's your first time owning a hamster, and finding all the things you need for them is even trickier. So let's get this straight. No, they're not starter pets. No, they are not good pets for your young children. No, they are not as easy to take care of as people assume. Hamsters are fragile and skittish, and they don't enjoy being handled. Forcing interaction can lead to stress or even them biting you, and it's important to respect their boundaries. When you add up the cost of a proper sized cage, safe bedding, species appropriate food, a silent wheel, hides, and cage accessories, it can get into the hundreds and even thousands. And then there's the space requirements. People underestimate how much room a real setup actually takes. A 100 by 50 by 50 cage isn't something you can just put on a shelf or shove in a corner. It's big, and it needs to go somewhere where they can't be disturbed during the day and can sleep. Now let's talk about the noise. Hamsters are extremely active during the night. They don't just get up, have some food, and go back to bed. They run, they chew, they skitter on their wheel, and especially the cheaper wheels can be extremely loud and squeaky, and a silent one can cost even more money. They are loud and constant. You can't train them to sleep during the night and be awake during the day. You cannot train them to your sleep schedule. You should never wake them during the day just so that they sleep during the night. That's not possible, that's not in their biology. I know someone who had to rehome their hamster because they didn't realise how much noise they make at night. And while rehoming is completely the most responsible thing you can do, you have to go about it carefully. Please, please never list any of your pets as free. This is a snake owner's dream. Many people respond to free listings because they know that they've just gotten a live feeder. Instead, list your pet for a reasonable fee and ask questions like, can I see your setup? Who's the hamster for? Have you owned hamsters before? This helps ensure your hamster goes to a safe, loving home and gets everything they need. And while I know snakes need to eat too, and I know what you have to do to have a snake eat food, there are places that breed animals specifically for live feeding, and obviously a hamster should not be a live feeder. One of the most common and damaging comments people make is, it's just a hamster, they don't live long anyway, so what's the point? Correction, that's exactly the point. Hamsters live from about 1.5 to 3 years. That's a tiny window. So why should that life be spent trapped in a plastic barred prison with nothing to explore, nothing to chew, no space to dig, nothing to do? What kind of existence is that? Well, your hamster may just be a chapter in your life. You are their entire life. You are all that they will know. Every second of their life, from the day they are brought home to the day they pass, it depends entirely on you. How they live, what they eat, what they experience. Whether they're safe or afraid, it's all in your hands. Excuses like, they're small, they're cheap, or they won't be around for long, so what's the point? This mindset is incredibly damaging, not just for the hamster in question, but for the entire pet community. They normalise neglect, and they feed into the misinformation that hamsters are easy pets for kids, low maintenance, fine in any cage, fine without a wheel, toys, enrichment, and more. All of which is obviously false. These views often give the impression to other people that hamsters are just throwaway animals. It makes them seem like a short-term commitment that you can toss away when you're bored or buy another one when it dies, instead of a real living creature with natural instincts and needs. And the worst part is that misinformation spreads through social media, especially TikTok, where cute but very wrong videos rack up millions of views and thousands of likes, without showing the reality behind bad care. We have to remember that ethical animal care is not about how long the animal lives, but how they live. It's about making sure that for however long they're here, they experience a life that is comfortable and full of dignity. If we only see animals worth caring for when their long-term commitments are big enough to matter, then we're not really animal lovers. We're just picking and choosing which lives deserve more respect and love. Which brings me on to my next point of them being seen as toys. I'm sure you've all seen them. Those hamster maze videos made for kids that go viral on YouTube. They usually show elaborately designed mazes with lots of colourful obstacles, spinning wheels, fake lava pits, swimming pools, toy snakes, or sometimes real snakes and crabs as obstacles, or hidden traps that the hamster has to navigate through. They look fun and harmless and entertaining, especially to kids. But in reality, these videos are just abusing the hamster and, additionally, the other animals that could be involved in the video. Then there's the aesthetic cages, built to look like toys and blend in with your child's bedroom. You've probably seen the Ovo dinosaur cage, or other cages designed to look like rocket ships or cars, with bright tunnels and plastic compartments. I've dubbed these the McDonald's playground cages because that's exactly what they look like. They're loud, colourful, completely enjoyed for the human enjoyment rather than the animal's enjoyment. These cages and videos are colourful and uploaded to appeal to a child audience. They get picked up in YouTube's algorithm when you click Made for Kids, and when kids see them, they rack up in views, and making it seem like this is completely normal and even ideal for a hamster. But let's be clear that they are not completely harmless and that it is abuse. We're not here to blame the children as they know no better. They just see, oh, colours, oh, fuzzy hamster, and they press like and then they get fed more of these videos. They're just seeing what they're shown and repeating what they think looks fun. But it's up to adults and content creators with big platforms to set a real standard for animal care. I don't know how many of you know this, but hamsters are actually partially blind. They rely on their whiskers and scent and feel to know where they're going. They can't judge distances very well, their depth perception is very bad, and they won't be able to see when a tight corner is there or if there's a drop and they need to avoid it. People put these obstacles in their way for entertainment or include heights and gaps, which pose serious risk of broken bones, stress from being lost or confused, overstimulation, which is deeply distressing small prey animals. And let's not forget how fragile hamsters are. Their bones can break so easily, and a drop that seems like nothing to humans could be life-threatening for such a small creature. And even worse, a lot of these YouTube mazes trap the hamster until they find the exit, which removes the hamster's ability to retreat, hide, burrow, and keep themselves safe. They don't have the choice to come and go as they please, and this is not mental stimulation. It is not enrichment. That's stress-inducing confinement dressed up as a game. Then there's the cages. Popular brands like the Fur Plus Juna Fun, Road to Sack, and Habitrail Ovo are sold in stores and marked as fun. They're way too small, made with narrow, dangerous tubes that can cause injury or overheating, full of bright lights in areas that leave the hamster feeling exposed and unsafe, built with difficult access to cleaning which could discourage children or even adults from cleaning the cage because it's too difficult to get there. These cages are designed to appeal to the buyer and children, not the hamster. When these videos showing these setups go viral, it normalizes abuse and covers it up as cute content. It tells millions of people, especially kids, that this is okay, when it's harmful, unsafe, and completely inappropriate for a species that needs darkness and a quiet space to feel secure. Not only this, but ethical care can look just as good. Many good cages nowadays, such as the Book Estate, can blend into your home's decor and look like a piece of the furniture, while also being an appropriate size for your hamsters to enjoy. Almost everyone has TikTok, most people enjoy it. But when it comes to pet care on this app, and especially with small animals such as hamsters, it becomes a breeding ground for misinformation and neglect. And even worse, people are oddly fearless on this app. They're aggressive when people try to give them constructive criticism and advice on how to improve their care, and oddly protective over their neglect, claiming that it's just a hamster, it's what they need. They're only small. They mock people that offer advice and are just downright rude, which then leads to other people being aggressive towards them. It's this unhealthy cycle of animal care and animal abuse, and we're getting nowhere with it. While researching for this video, I literally just searched hamster into the search bar of TikTok, and it took no time for me to be shown abuse. And even worse, it was praised in the comments. Nobody really pointed out that it was wrong, and many people said that it was funny. There are hamsters clearly showing signs of stress, like over-grooming, constant bar biting, frantically running with no ability to hide. There were also so many videos of hamsters being kept in groups, not even just pairs, groups. And I'm pretty sure any of you hamster lovers know exactly what I'm going to bring up next. The Hamster Gym. This account has one of the worst forms of content I've seen in a long time online, and it's always being spoken about in the animal community. Multiple hamsters are shoved into a small enclosure with barely any bedding or coverage. And this enclosure is full of saucer wheels, and they are live streamed just spinning on these saucer wheels and being flung off, attacking each other, getting injured, and these people are being sent money and gifts for uploading neglect. The stream operator does not seem to care or doesn't even seem present during the live streams. It's not enrichment, it's not exercise, and it's not brain stimulation. And most importantly, it's not cute. To make matters worse, these videos and live streams are uploaded with loud music, funny sound effects, bright lights, and rave music, making it seem like these hamsters are having the time of their lives and they're enjoying it. In reality, they're terrified, disoriented, and often injured. Hamsters are solitary prey animals. They want quiet, burrows, and a safe space to live. Many comments have been defending these live streams, saying, well, they're just exercising. They go back to their cage afterwards. It's only for an hour a day. And let's be very clear, even if it is just for an hour or 30 minutes or 10 minutes, these hamsters should not be in these conditions. Also, wheels aren't even recommended anymore and often aren't even sold, especially for Syrian hamsters, because of the unnatural running posture and how dangerous and easy it is for these hamsters to just be flung off. And I've seen many examples of this and people uploading clips of these live streams and saying it's funny. It's chaos and it's dangerous. Stress in hamsters shortens their already short lifespan, lowers their immune system, or become very aggressive. Just because something is filmed for a little while doesn't make it okay. It would never be acceptable for a dog or a cat, and if someone was doing this to their dog or cat, someone will come over to their house, take the animal away, and probably revoke their privileges of ever owning animals ever again. So why should it be any different for hamsters? TikTok and other platforms have a very long way to go when it comes to animal care. But in the meantime, we need to speak up as creators and random people in the world and educate others, because no animal deserves to be living in these conditions. Thankfully, it's not all bad news. There are incredible creators out there, especially on YouTube, such as Victoria Rachel, that know exactly what they're doing and are willing to educate others. On TikTok, there are loads of small pet content creators that you can watch for hours on end and learn so much from. And these people are often young people, teenagers like myself, or even children. They correct misinformation, debunk myths, and promote ethical, species-appropriate care without clickbait or cruelty. I like to make sure that people know that it's completely okay to have accidentally been wrong about animal care in the past. I've been very wrong about animal care in the past, as you'll know from my last video. At the end of the day, animal care is a journey for both you and your animals, and it's not always your fault for not knowing what you're doing. But in this generation, we have all the information on animal care and anything at the ends of our fingertips. I don't understand how people can purposely choose to neglect their animals while also seeing proper care promoted online. When I first gained access to YouTube, I was immediately faced with proper care for animals and immediately thought, oh, I'm actually doing this wrong, and improved my care. And many other children do. No, I'm not talking about the kids who don't have internet access yet or don't know what they're doing is wrong, blah blah, before you attack me. So if you're a parent or a child thinking about getting an animal, please make sure you do your research. And not only make sure the pet is right for you, but make sure you are right for the pet and can provide them with everything they need. No animal is a starter animal. Every animal has its specific needs and can be quite difficult to look after, and it doesn't take a lot of effort just to research. And with that, I think this video is complete. Thank you for watching, and if this video made you think, comment down below, and if you're willing to stay for the next video, I will see you all next Sunday at 5 PM. Bye!